Well, good evening, everybody, and good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are on this planet. And a very warm welcome to the Patricia Iris Kerins show. And we are on the Gift of Healing TV platform. And it's so lovely to be here with you tonight. I really feel that this program is very special, not least because of the wonderful guest that we are being joined with from New Zealand, from the other side of the world where it's very early morning. So already our beautiful Janine Savient gets a gold star for getting up so early in the morning. We're much luckier here. It's 8 o'clock at night. And we are going to have a really sacred show, I feel. So before I introduce you to Janine, I would just ask if you have a candle, then please light it now. And just take a moment. Just take a moment to gather yourself together, to bring yourself to be fully present in this wonderful, loving energy that we're creating this evening, this morning, because we're talking about matters of the heart. What could be more powerful and profound than to be talking about divine love and helping you, our beautiful listeners, to be more of who you can be and to open your hearts more and more and more. So let me take just a moment to invoke our beautiful angels. So in the name of Mother, Father, God, beloved I Am Presence, I call forward the archangelic realms to support our beautiful program this evening. I call forward the ascended masters, and I call forward the illumined beings of light, star beings, councils of light, wherever you are coming from, the highest vibration of divine love, we welcome you here to be with us in this moment now. And just feel them arrive, everyone, because they will. And your own guides will also be there, and your own guardian angels. Feel them coming in round about you as they protect us in our beautiful work and on our journey this evening. And so I said that we are joined by Janine Savient. So I'm just going to check in that she is there, that technology has worked. Hi, Janine, how are you?
Good morning, good evening, Patricia. I am very, very well and feel honoured to be here with you on your show today. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, you know, we are truly blessed, Janine, and I'm so delighted that you did come on. And I tell you, I read your biography. Obviously, you sent it over to me, and I have to share with everyone it is the best biography I've ever read from anybody that I've received one from, and I'm delighted to share it all with you now. So I am speaking, as it were, if I were Janine, as it were. So my name is Janine Savient, and I am a messenger for love. I am here to learn all about love. And by being the example of all that I learn, I support others to the realization of who they are also. For beneath their doubts and beyond their fears is found exquisite love. Love is far more than what is realized by most. It encompasses everything and is the very fabric that makes up this entire existence. The journey I walk is to unconditional love, to stand in a place of total neutrality to all that I witness here, in the knowing that through the lens of no judgment, I am the clearest witness to this life experience. I love being here in this time of great change, to walk the pathway alongside those opening to themselves as so much more than what they may know themselves to be. I am an intuitive visionary and a seer, an energy healer and an international speaker. Also, I am one of the hosts on the Global Rising Summits. These aspects of me I bring in service to humanity. Now, that is so wonderful, Janine. Really beautiful, beautiful words. And I so resonate with them. And I know that everyone listening, for those that are drawn to us, are drawn to this beautiful vibration of divine love. And you know, I was just thinking, what we are about this evening is helping our listeners and indeed ourselves to open more and more to love. And how can we open our hearts? A lot of clients I get, in their heads, they think they are open to divine love. They really are bringing it forward. They're doing it. And yet when I tune into them, I sometimes see shells around their hearts. That's how I would describe it. Not a hyperbaric barrel or anything like that. Not an iron, cast iron thing, although it has happened once or twice. But, you know, just a coating. And I guess that happens because the more years you're on the planet, and depending on what you've experienced, the more you could build up resistance and protection, perhaps, to being hurt, or all the different things that happen, the pain one has experienced. So, Janine, do you have any advice for our listeners as to how you would recommend they overcome that? How did they get through those barriers?
What a beautiful question, Patricia. So what I always talk with my clients about is doing things that they love to do. If we find ourselves in a place that resonates with us within a conversation with someone that we respect or we love, or in a place on this planet like a beach or walking a mountain or even in a shopping mall, if that does it. If we are with a beautiful animal that we love, that we've got a deep connection with, then we feel our hearts. In those times, in those moments of feeling comfortable, of feeling connected, we're actually feeling our heart space. And so I encourage people that are wanting to get to know their heart more, to feel that magnificent part of themselves, to start doing more in their lives that they really enjoy doing, and to just lessen those times that don't resonate with them, that don't bring them joy, or that when they don't feel connected with that space. You see, Patricia, the heart is the gateway to the greater part of ourselves. So it is the pathway to our soul self. And so that beautiful part of us has a plan for us here. And when that gateway is open, when that pathway is walked, we're in alignment, we're in the flow with that divine plan that's in place for us. So it's important to a certain extent that we really start to get to know this beautiful place within us. And as you said before, many believe that they are already connected and their heart is open, when in fact they've never experienced it, or maybe only for the fleetingest moments now and then. It used to surprise me how many people actually believed that they were deeply connected with their heart space, when in fact they had never really experienced it. So the gentle way of moving forward, of introducing our mind, if you like, to the heart, is by putting ourselves in these times where we love being in, and also remembering that our thoughts and our words have a deep, deep impact. And every thought that crosses our mind, every word that we speak to self as well as in conversation with others, we hear. So we hear everything, and we can either connect ourselves into our heart with beautiful, gentle, kind, loving, thoughtful words and thoughts, or we can shut our heart down in a second with angry, judgmental, negative type of thoughts or words, and it's always a choice. We live in a reality of absolute freedom of choice here. So to connect with the heart, it means moving forward in a more gentle space perhaps than what we may have known up to now. It's learning to be gentle with self as well as others, but mainly with self, to connect with our own heart.
Beautiful. And I so agree with you. I ask people what makes their heart sing. I guess it's because I'm a singer, and I love sounding and using sound to take me into the deeper recesses, if you like, of my being. And also yesterday, for example, I did put a post on Facebook afterwards, but I was sitting on the decking outside. Now, we have beautiful grounds here. We're surrounded by trees. The honeysuckle is flowering and the scent is delightful. And I was just sitting there with my little dog and going in, just merging with nature. And I could feel it really does open your heart. And I think I said I could feel love surging through me, pulsating. And before you know it, I'm crying. And that happens to me a lot. It's when you really move into that space, and I had time and I could just be and connect, and hearing the birds and the bees. It was just divine. That is heaven on earth for me. So I guess you would agree with me that one of the number one things, and I love the way you said people need to choose, because, you know, we have the power of choice. We have the power to change. That for me is the greatest power. So if people would choose just to close their eyes for 5 minutes, go within, and you can do it in a park bench or out in the back garden, wherever you are, and really go in and feel yourself merging with the beauty of nature. I think we underestimate, and here's a generalization, I apologize, but I think humanity underestimates the power of nature. That they're so busy looking, perhaps majority, at how they can exploit it and use it to their effect. But it's the power of green, isn't it? That is the colour of the heart as well, that beautiful emerald green. So meditation, contemplation, and going within. But also, and I feel you will agree with me, Janine, there is a responsibility to have a look at one's emotional body and nourish it the same way as we nourish the physical, by healing ourselves and by looking at some of the painful things that have happened in the past, not to continually drag story up, but just to send healing overall to whatever's happened. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely, Patricia. We have a tendency, or the mind has a tendency, to bag all the memories up and to carry all the memories around in this big sack that we put on our back, and we get heavier and heavier. We get more and more burdened in the carrying of memories that aren't serving our highest good right in this moment in time. So to allow ourselves to gently look at what is in this bag of memories, what are we carrying that doesn't serve us right now, and to make peace with those memories. You know, the greatest power, the greatest gift that we can give ourselves is self-forgiveness. You know, to forgive ourselves for anything that we may feel that we could have done a little differently, could have said a little differently, and then take the time to forgive any others that may also have been in that particular experience of that memory that we're carrying, helps the memory resolve in the moment. It brings that sack that we're carrying on our back of memories lighter and lighter. And once that heavy burden lightens, we start wanting to discover the beauty within us that we carry within our heart space. We start to feel this beautiful part of us. And so we are naturally drawn to start contemplation, meditation, connection, so that we can discover this part. And yes, nature is the very best place to go out and just to sit within the green, as you said before, the heart colour, and to feel the space around as we're sitting outside. But Patricia, we can make a sacred space anywhere, even in our lounge in a corner. Anywhere can be a sacred space for us to move into our heart. Nature is the most magnificent place to do it. But I saw your post on Facebook yesterday, and I could read between the lines. I could feel your energy, and I thought, oh, Patricia, you are in that exquisite moment of beauty, or moment of exquisite beauty, where the connection to all that is around us just flows through us. We become it becomes us. And this is all done through the heart, and all done on the wave of love that comes in that moment. And I know that place as well. So I really recognize where you were writing from yesterday. And this ability is within every one of us. Every single human being here has this ability to move through this divine sacred gateway within and connect to the greater part of themselves, who are longing for this beautiful fragment of itself to reconnect and move forward in a natural flow together. So another way of connecting with this beautiful space is consciously breathing. And I teach this to clients often who really have no idea whatsoever of how to connect in with their heart. And so I just get them to sit and start breathing into the heart space, and breathing out and breathing in, and sometimes putting their hand over that space as they breathe, so they can feel their hand moving backwards and forwards with their breath. And then I get them to, within their mind's eye, to slide down their breath and sit within that space and create a sacred room for themselves within that space. And this is their private space that they can go into and sit anytime they wish to. And some people create a beautiful garden within that space, and some create a beautiful, soft, plush room of some sort. It's whatever sits comfortably, but to help them create a space within the sacred space, something tangible that their mind can visualize while they're doing it, also helps people to know this beautiful part of them, this magnificent, powerful part of themselves.
Yes, that's just beautiful. That's right up my street. I love that. I was going to, well, it's funny because we were joking about breathing earlier on, weren't we, before we came on? Just remembering to breathe is a good thing to do. Good health tip, everybody. But what I love in the bio here is to stand in a place of total neutrality to all that I witness here, in the knowing that through the lens of no judgment, I am the clearest witness to this life experience. And that is, for me, that is a constant monitoring of where I'm at, and being aware if I go into judgment. because again, before we came on, we just had a slight talk about news and things like that, and how it can affect us negatively. There's so much going on negatively in the world. It's chaotic. Don't want to give it energy. I'm acknowledging that. And so I can be aware when I think, oh, they've done, and then you hear yourself doing that. And it's that detachment. And it really is about self-monitoring all the time. Would you agree with that? And being able to change the thought or the words, because you've said it, we're listening to every word we're saying. And then there's the other part, what you give out, you get back. So if you're judging others, you're going to collect a whole whack of that as well. So how have you dealt with making that aspect of self less prominent? Do you think we ever eradicate it?
So the best way to start is to stop watching all the news, to stop reading the newspapers, to stop reading the magazines, to let go of the outside world to a certain extent, all the media, let it go. This way we bring ourselves back to ourselves more, rather than searching and seeking out there and seeing what the masses are doing, what the world is about. We bring our focus to ourself, and we fill those times that we would have been watching TV or reading the newspaper or listening to the radio. We start filling them with different things like contemplation and meditation, and so the space starts to be filled more with ourself, our inner vision rather than our outer vision. And you see, if we're not watching the TV, the news, which is designed, the news is designed to put us in our fear and our doubt. It's designed this way, Patricia, to help keep us small. And so if we're not watching it at all, we start to let go of the judgment of what's happening. So we don't engage in conversation so much, and we start to realize that there's something happening on the inside of us because we're not constantly being fed by this media on the outside. We start to feel that we're building our own reality here, which in actual fact all of us do. We're powerful creators, and every one of us is here to create our own reality. But without the constant barrage of the media, we start to create a reality on a very, very different level. And then there comes a point, Patricia, where we don't actually even want to engage in what's happening out there in the world, because we can feel the power of ourself, and we're starting to see in our life moments of such wonder, moments of magic and miracles, because life is filled with these moments that most of the time we don't see through our judgments and our criticisms, all fed to us, of course, by conversations and the media. So we start to build a totally different reality. Now, some people have said to me in the past, oh, you're just not in touch with this, the reality here. You know, we live in this stuff and you're not in touch with it. And I say, but I'm in touch with my reality, and my reality is joy, is love, is compassion, is gentleness, is, you know, it doesn't have to be the other way. So when I say that I stand as the witness, what I've done is I'm learning every day to bring myself to a point where I can hear a conversation of what's going on out there. I can walk into a room where people may be watching the news on the TV, and it doesn't touch me in any way anymore, because I'm very, very solid within myself and my knowing of who and what I am and why I'm here. And so this is what I'm passionate about, helping other people get to in themselves too, because from this place of non-judgment, of total neutrality, and I'm still getting to total neutrality, what the power we have to create the world that we all know we're moving into, the magnificence of this new world that's already happening for us all now. It comes in on a daily basis. It comes in on an hourly basis. It comes in on a moment-to-moment basis, more and more and more, as we detach from the chaos that is around us out there. This is choice too, Patricia. We can either be part of it, or we can separate ourselves from it and create a whole new reality. And there's so many of us here now on the planet that are creating this new reality, that we're all on a vibrational level connecting up, and we're making a whole new world here. You know, there's hundreds and thousands of us now on the leading edge here that are in a different vibration, that are creating this beautiful new world that's emerging within and around and behind the chaos that we're fed, and that we can see as obvious in a lot of countries and a lot of situations. So,
yes,
I hope that makes sense.
Yes, I just noticed, you won't know anything about this, but there was a referendum in Scotland a few years ago for Scotland to become independent. And I was very active in that, pro that, all the rest of it, very active. And I noticed myself being very active. I observed myself. But they tried to resurrect it quite recently. And equally, I noticed myself just not being absolutely bothered about it at all. I realised that in those intervening years, months, that there had been a huge shift in me, that it no longer either excited me or deflated me or anything. You know, it just didn't touch me. And I actually became aware then that my vibration must have shifted quite a bit, I would say, to be releasing that and just, you know, what will be, pulling back. And I mean, I'm a work in progress with that, absolutely monitoring myself to become the observer. I'm getting better more and more. I would say that would be the case. But it's interesting. I was brought up in what I now realise was a very critical environment in the family. And I don't have overly much to do with those remaining on the planet, because that is still there. So it's just interesting. I've detached from that also. So then there are times when one can feel quite lonely, because so many people who are not resonating with your vibration and that level of detached compassion, whatever one would call it, they kind of fall away. And we prevail, and yes, very happy within and creating that lovely gentle space. I like that description.
Thank you.
So I'm sure everybody listening out there will have gathered loads from that. I certainly have. Just fabulous. However, I do, just before we go, want to mention the Global Rising Summits, of which you are one of the founders and hosts of this, and I felt deeply honoured to be a contributor on that. So tell us a little bit, Janine, of how that began. What inspired you now to do that?
So, Patricia, the summits make my heart sing. I love the way you said that before, because I use that term as well. I have a deep and expanded knowing of this reality, and my knowing is that there is so much more here than what the eye can see and the hand can touch. That the physical aspect of this reality is only the tiniest part. And so I'm also aware that there are many, many others out there now who have their own personal knowing, but because none of us are the same, of course, but have a very similar understanding that life is so much more, that the barriers and the limitations that we've set up in this reality with our mind are dropping away now, and so our conscious awareness is being allowed to move right out. And so talking with Heather one day, and she has a very broad and deep knowing as well, we decided to create a platform where those that felt drawn, felt pulled to stand on that platform and share their knowing and their understanding of life as well with others. Because if there's one trigger, if there's one part of anything that a speaker says that ignites the longing in a viewer to want to know more, or gives them the confidence that they want to step forward on the platform in the next summit, then my heart sings in pure joy at that. Because the more people that can stand up, speak out, be seen, be allowed to speak their truth, and no matter what it is, they stand there and they speak it to the world. And if there's a whole lot of people that resonate with it, fabulous. If there's nobody that resonates with it, then the speaker has still gained the confidence in themselves to do that. So I was a speaker myself on the very first summit that came out with Heather and another lady that was called Healers United Global Summit. I loved what it did for me. I loved how I could just sit there, stand there and speak what was in my heart and let the world see me. And, I was a little critical with that first one myself, but the confidence that came from that, I thought, oh gosh, there's so many people out there that would love to just say, hey, this is me, look at me, hear me, resonate with me or not, but this is my truth, and I want my truth to go out into the vibration of this reality, because in some way that truth will make a difference here to this reality, make a difference to me. So that is why we've created the Global Rising Summits, Patricia, and every speaker that I interview and Heather does all the work behind the scenes. She's the techno person, but every person I interview, I get something from. I feel the connection between my heart and theirs, and I feel the vibration of them go out into the world on that video as they speak too. So it's you can feel it in me. I'm really passionate about this platform.
Yes, you are. I like passionate, powerful and purposeful. I mean, that's real goddess energy, and you have that by the barrel load, may I say. Thank you for all of that. I really believe that you are an emissary for the light, a messenger of love indeed. And, to give others the opportunity to share your platform is a wonderful gift to those of us whom you have had on the show. And I certainly know I really enjoyed it, not least because of your skill in interviewing, which is, very good. So they are continuing to go out, I believe, for the rest of the one going out today. One of these interviews going out today.
Yes.
Until when? Is it this Saturday or Sunday?
They go out till the 3rd of July. The last one's on the 3rd of July for this particular summit. And then, of course, they're up on Gift of Healing TV and up on our website, www.theglobalrisingproject.com. On our website, they're up indefinitely, and I'm sure Sarah's got them on Gift of Healing for quite a while in the archives afterwards. So, but they're of course always on YouTube. They're up forever on YouTube, and so and there's also the last one that we did that finished in February, that's still up on our website for anybody. And I know there's still a lot of people watching the previous summit, because I'm still getting messages from people that are loving the speakers from the first summit. And of course, you've been in both, Patricia. We're so honoured to have you. Love your truth that you share with this world, and all that you are here, the gift of you. So thank you.
Well, thank you very much, as I say, for the opportunity. So, well, I feel that we're nearing the end of our little programme this evening, and it has been a joy, Janine, to just spend time with you and your vibration, your energy, which is definitely divine love. And it's been wonderful, because I really feel that we have been surrounded by that too. And there's a message coming in from Lorna. Thank you very much, ladies. So Lorna, bless you. That's very kind. We might get some more messages, I don't know. But as you say, if someone just gets one word or a sentence, just an aha moment that shifts and changes their life forever, that's something we cannot quantify as teachers, coaches, sharers of love. Just that one word syndrome. You can't quantify the differences. I find it intriguing coming back to live here after 12 years, the number of people that are coming back in that are saying to me, do you not remember me? You taught me Reiki X number of years ago, and all that kind of thing. And to my chagrin, I do not always remember. That's senior moments are creeping in here. So, but anyway, it's a joy. It's light, it's laughter, it's loving. And that's what I like about this level of vibration. There's no spikiness, there's no prickly stuff. There's, that's all gone. And I think it is noticeable that a lot of that has gone. So it's fantastic. So what is next for you, Janine, that you feel you would want to share anyway, if there is anything coming up that you might like to invite folks to, or anything you'd like to promote?
Thank you, Patricia. I am taking space right at this time for just for the next month or two to recoup. It's been an incredibly busy last couple of years, and I've been stretched in many directions. So I went away on a retreat for 3 weeks off the grid and away from life, and within that time sat with myself, deeply with myself and my team, and decided that I needed to bring balance back into my life. And so I've got a reasonably clear diary apart from clients. I have no other engagements, no speaking engagements, no summits for the next couple of months. And of course, I'm always open to looking at something, but it's nice to be able to sit down in an evening and know that I have just a few hours to watch a chick flick, or even play a board game, here in the house, something normal like that, to it's a little bit of time out for me at the moment, but I'm incredibly excited about my future. I can't tell you right now how that's going to look, apart from the fact that I'm feeling one or two things sitting on the horizon that's just sort of starting to come up and over into my awareness, and opportunities are starting to form. So all I can really say, darling lady, is watch this space, because I'm excited and I don't even know what by yet.
That's the kind of excitement we like. Thank you for sharing that, Janine. That's lovely. I deeply envy you that, I have to say. I'm not quite there with that, taking time out, because it has been busy. And I would just like to take this opportunity to share with people that these beautiful Magic of the Magdalene cards are out, posted out the sets that I'd pre-sold, and feedback is wonderful. The energy of the cards is very powerful. When I read it, when I read the messages, I do not remember them. It's like I'm reading the book as well. It's so obviously just coming through, but very, very helpful, very strong, powerful guidance. Goes to a very deep level and gives you work to do. Not just the cheerful, you're going on a holiday next week. No, not quite. So just to let you know, they're available on my website, which is patriciairiskerins.com. Janine, what's your website? Can you give us that?
I'd love to, Patricia. It's www.theheartlady.net.
Oh, I love it. The Heart Lady. That's fantastic. Now, wait till I tell you, the beautiful Anne Coughlin, very blessed to hear you both this evening, she says, and Lorraine, this all echoes what is awakening in me now. And Althea is saying, thank you, ladies. And Sarah Jane's put your website up, Janine, so that's very good. Everybody can get a note of that. So from my heart to yours, a huge thank you. And I just wondered if we could maybe just finish with closing our eyes and doing some conscious breathing. And just allowing that beautiful brand new breath to take you deep within yourself. Allowing your roots to go down and your beautiful connection to align to Source. Bringing yourself into core alignment with Mother Earth and Father Sky, and your beautiful heart, much expanded, having listened to all those beautiful, loving words of wisdom. Just rest in the knowledge that your heart is now much more open than it was at the top of the program, and is now much more aware of how to open more and more and more. We give great thanks to the Creator, to Source, to the archangelic realms, the ascended masters, star beings, everyone, every being who has supported our energies this night. And I include the elementals, the fairies, the divas, the dragons, including them all. Bless you, thank you. Thank you for your continued love, and we are sending so much love and gratitude to you. And when you're ready, just open your eyes. Coming back to this beautiful moment. For me, it's going to be a cup of tea and a wee biscuit for the evening. And I don't know, Janine, you've got the whole day ahead of you. What are you going to be being and doing?
Well, today I'm going into a retirement village for the day and helping out in the office there. So shining my light within the work environment that I'm just temporarily helping out with. So looking forward to connecting with some of those beautiful hearts in that retirement village. Patricia, just before we go, very quickly and just for a few seconds, can I just send a strand of light and love into each heart that's watching this program today with just a gentle coding that's come through to me? Is that okay if I do that?
Absolutely, yes, please.
Thank you. So if everybody just closes their eyes and takes a gentle breath in, feels their heart open. Nakasi shikiria mai ata iana de kamai ati iake. Sakariara mane ati ni kamaria teki si ishikia. Shikitia mai eate te keria mani a. Shiki aria mane kesi I. Sikashiki aria mati ia. Katia, katia, katia mani a. Love and blessings to everyone that's connected with this program and will see it. Thank you, Patricia.
Wow, thank you, Janine. I really felt the energy of that. That was beautiful. The language, is that light coding language?
Yes, it is, and it comes with me from where I come from. So yes, it's one of my tools. Thank you.
Oh, just beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing that. One last person we need to thank also, Sarah Jane,
Yes.
the founder of the Gift of Healing TV. So thank you, Sarah. And yeah, she's got all of your videos up on the web, and indeed all of my past shows and many others. So everybody out there, I hope you will avail yourself of all these resources that are there to help you help yourself. But for now, we're going to say bye-bye, and we will see you again soon. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.